चलिए, नमस्ते सभी को। राधे राधे। कैसे हैं संजय आप?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm also good, all good. Hmm. How's your practice going? breath पे
Going
watch
okay, I
करना
think.
going okay?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't put a timer and things like that, but I do notice my breath from time to time.
That's good enough. Yes.
Yeah. It's easier to slow it down when you focus on it,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
then when you are doing your own work or doing something else, then I don't know what's going on. So I I can't vouch for that time what happens. Um, the other thing I find is that it's easier, like for during normal breathing, it's easier to sort of forget about the hold phases, because if I hold the breath during inhalation or after inhalation and exhalation, then it requires more attention. So that's something that is not that doesn't come naturally to me. Do you know what I mean?
Sanjay, can you speak again?
Yeah, no, I was
हाँ.
saying just a couple of observations. So
Mm-hmm.
as I was saying, it's easier to slow your breath down when you notice it and when you attend to it, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Other times I don't know really what is happening, but during normal sort of day-to-day breathing, it's also, even when I focus on it, it requires less focus to just inhale and exhale slowly. But if I have to also hold at the end of the inhalation and the end of exhalation, that requires more attention. That requires almost only doing that and nothing else. Does that make sense? Which I find harder.
So basically, um, let's decouple the two things. So one is the length and duration of our breath cycle, and the second thing is simply watching the breath. Okay. So um, when we are watching the breath, we don't have to intervene in the process. Okay. So what is very important for us, and it comes to today's discussion also, today's entire session, and we will do some practice also today, is based on conscious and awakened living. So in awakened living, we are always watching. So we are starting with breath because breath is easier to watch than our mind. So
So
there,
I think what I was saying was that if you have to hold, then that necessarily for me requires intervention. It is
हाँ, अच्छा
like,
अच्छा अच्छा.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
हाँ. Yes, that I understood this piece.
Okay.
That whenever you want longer breath, then you have to intervene. So this will, Sanjay, just happen with time. If you just keep observing, right? The more you will establish yourself in the watcher mode, watching your body and watching your mind. You will just see that over few weeks and months, your mind will quieten down and breath will itself become longer. Yeah, it will be spontaneous, natural. So, and you.
But the hold phases at the end,
Mhm.
they will, do you think that they also become sort of natural in everyday
Ah,
breathing?
yes, actually,
Right.
a
So
whole
that's what
phase
I
will
struggle with
become
most.
very long. It will happen. होगा वो. मतलब, in fact, what you will start observing slowly in few months, that your breath will hold for actually longer. Inhalation, exhalation will become less, and holding will become longer by itself.
Okay.
Uh-huh. That's the beauty of this whole thing. Matlab, we simply have to watch and be aware of it. That's all. And intend. And initially, it will require some intervention. It will require you to, have your own tools, but you will figure out your way in the journey. Most important is watching. So even today's whole session is about watching. And yes, Very nice. Hi, Donia. How are you?
Hi Ayush Ji, all good.
Acha.
The
How's
journey
your?
has just, yeah, the journey has just begun. So, yes, it's going. I'm trying my best,
Hmm,
and I think it will take a little longer because the journey has just started. But one thing, like it becomes very difficult sometimes because we go through a lot of emotions throughout the day. So
hmm.
observing and not reacting. So there is a conflict which I'm going through. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that kind of thing is there that I noticed.
Hmm. What kind of conflict are you going through?
A conflict as in, there is a certain emotion that I'm feeling, okay, at that particular moment. At the same time, I have to observe also. But one thing is there, if it is a negative emotion, okay, I can see myself detaching from that and making an observation only on my breath. So that kind of thing is there that I've noticed so far.
Could you explain detaching from emotion? You mean you stop observing the emotion, or you remove your attention from the emotion, is it?
Uh, as in, for example, if I'm in a conversation with somebody at
Hmm.
workplace,
Hmm.
okay, and there is something which is happening that was something which has to be done within the deadline, for example, and I'm in a conversation and that has to be done, okay. Now what is there? I'm feeling a sort of urgency. That kind of emotion is there, an urgency that my mentee should have done that, okay. And then I'm feeling something that, oh, this has to be done, like we have to get it done by so and so, okay, but it's not there. So yeah, so there it is a conflict.
Hmm.
Sometimes I feel, okay, I have to observe, then this, so I have to drag myself, put out of this, pull myself out from that situation.
Hmm.
And yeah, so that is there, that is
Wow.
happening.
So at least you are being sincere in your practice and you are trying to do it. And that's very good to hear. And what is very important, Donia, is today we will go through this process of what you are sharing, no?
Mhm.
तो हम लोग इसी पे आज का पूरा सेशन में फर्स्ट पार्ट विल बी ऑन दिस. What is very important again, like I was sharing with Sanjay ji also, is to simply observe, and that is a very powerful thing. Even if I'm feeling upset over something, I am observing it, and this is what we will look into today as well. So
Okay.
that's the key thing. As in, just keep going on in this journey. You've begun new, so you will just in a few weeks see a big change. In fact, by the time we end this whole journey together, right? मतलब 4 weeks, a moon cycle goes over. तो आप देखोगे by the end of the fourth week, already big changes will be there. I am confident. All we need to do is simply have a resolution, a resolve
Mhm.
that we are going to just be conscious and aware in this journey. See, other whatever framework that we will be exploring together today, if we get time, we'll start with harmony in relationships. So while these frameworks are there, but till we are not established in the process of awakened living,
Mhm.
it will be, these frameworks will not be powerful in our life. They will not make a big difference. मतलब they will make a difference, but effect, if it can be 10, it will be 2.
Correct.
सो है ना. तो इसीलिए हमको एक प्रैक्टिस बस पकड़ लेनी है. वन मेन फाउंडेशनल प्रैक्टिस ऑफ आवर स्पिरिचुअल जर्नी is to just be conscious and aware and watching all the time. ठीक है. So okay, so very nice. And Subramaniam, how are you doing?
Yes, sir, I'm doing fine. And whenever I
Subramaniam.
find time, yeah,
हाँ.
can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, I just wanted to ask, yes, how's your journey going?
Yes, I try to implement whatever you are saying, and
Hmm.
yes, yes, sir, showing good, doing good. Yeah,
Okay, so are you able to watch your breath more and more in the day?
So before 1 or 2 days ago, I followed whatever you told,
Hmm.
uh, and then whenever I have time, I consciously watch my breath, maybe for half an hour or 45 minutes
Hmm.
in between the
And
work. Yeah, that's how it is going.
this half an hour, 45 minutes, you leave other things and then watch the breath, or you watch it while
No,
you're doing other things also.
not doing by other things. Maybe whenever I have free time, that kind
Acha,
of
acha.
I used to do take deep breath kind of things.
Very nice. Wonderful. So, Subramaniam, now the next step for you will be that
Okay.
even if, let's start with this workshop, okay, today's session. All of us, while we are in today's session and you're listening to me also, can you also, can everyone right now, can all of us simply be listening to each other and also watching our breath? Can we do this?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, yes, sir.
Subramaniam, are you able to do this right now? You are listening to my voice, है ना? You are seeing the screen, and are you able to also be aware of your breath together? Don't control breath, just watch.
Okay, okay, I will do.
Can you do it now? Is it happening?
Yeah, I will do. Yeah.
It's possible, right?
Yes, yes, possible.
Na? Sanjay ji, possible? Abhi, we can do this, है ना? Akshar, what about you?
Yes, we can do that.
We can, है ना, keep watching our breath while we are together, na, in this session. And this we will extend after the session tonight also and continue. Okay. So now let's come to conscious living. Um, होश में जीना. It's called hosh and behosh. So most of the people in the world and all of us, it includes even me, a few years ago, I was sleepwalking. And I lived so many years, like 30 years of my life sleepwalking. I realized when I entered the process. And what do we mean by sleepwalking? By sleepwalking, we mean that we are living our entire life. See, we are working, we are doing things, but I'm not aware of my mind. What's the content of my mind right now? What's happening in my mind? I am not watching it. It's just happening. Mind is present as if alone. I am not present there. And also my body, physical body also is present with the mind, but I am not there. So what happens is any kind of thoughts come and go, but there is no light that falls on those thoughts. And then we tend to get into any direction. It's like walking in dark. We may just go anywhere, stumble upon anything because there is no light falling on it. So when the soul is a synonym for me or I am the soul and I have a mind. Okay. There is no role of the soul in living. But when the soul starts to play a role, what is the role? Soul's role is first most important piece is to watch everything. Now, to be present and to be conscious and be aware, mindful. Okay, this is happening right now. Hmm? And along with it, the second thing the soul does, which maybe is slightly advanced topic we'll cover in future sessions. We'll go through most important things now, but the second most important thing soul does, it gives light to the mind. It gives evidentiality, or let's say access to truth and knowledge to the mind. But when mind is not accessing the soul, when there is no role of the soul in daily activities, when there is no sun shining, on the mind. And what is the mind? Mind is the moon. So then the moon, which is full of so many emotions, feelings, thoughts, making decisions, is like kind of blinded in the journey. And then that's where our mind becomes very chaotic. And things like depression, how does depression come? It does not happen overnight. What happens is for a few weeks to few months, we are into a loop of certain thoughts and certain patterns of thoughts, which are running without check. No one is checking and watching over them. I am not present. So now those patterns could be coming from ignorance, lack of knowledge. Those patterns may be coming from my untrue self also, what I will call. Those patterns could be coming from false beliefs and other samskaras which don't serve our well-being. So they go on unchecked, 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 unchecked. Then, like a spiral, the power within them starts becoming bigger, 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 bigger. And then when they become very big, then we start to notice something is wrong with me. Because now the problem and its pain is so big that even most behosh person will be wakened up by the pain. Such a big pain will come, forced to wake up and see, oh my God, I am suffering. Na? So, what is happening in this case? The root cause of all depression in everyone's life is that we are not watching ourselves. What is happening? I I am not present. Hmm? Now, what am I? When we will explore this, no, in journey as we will progress. Right now, this may seem like just words, but when we will establish ourselves in the watcher mode, Drishta, Bhav, we will see that I, the pure me, which is not the mind. Okay, that day I said, no, it's a blank screen. I am this blank screen. Speak mind content comes. Okay, but this screen by itself, which is the soul, we will observe that it's just like the supreme soul, pure reflection, like a sun. It is shining on my mind. The light of the sun is shining, and now with this light I watch everything that goes in my mind. This is what starts happening. And then this light, this dot that is there, no, this dot is just like the whole board and the screen, like the soul is just like the supreme soul, which we call pure consciousness. Hmm? And what is it felt as? What is it called? It's called Sat Chitta Anand. The nature of this dot is same as nature of the infinite consciousness. Hmm? It is Sat Chit Anand. We will see that all suffering and pain is actually happening in the mind only. This is where the pain is, suffering is. And what is mind? Mind is a body I'm wearing. I am not the mind. I am Sat, truth, Chit, pure consciousness, and my nature is bliss. I, the pure consciousness, which is the infinite pure consciousness, never born, never dying. And each one of us, our soul, is like a drop. And this drop is reflecting the nature of this pure consciousness. This drop of the ocean is just like the ocean. Its nature is same as the ocean because this drop belongs to the ocean. And this drop hence is always in pure ananda. Only mind is suffering, the body is suffering basically. And the physical body also is a body. After mind, mind is the subtle body, Sukshma Sharira. And then there's physical body, more gross. These two are connected, right? So when this watcher is suddenly active, it's like, you know, this mind is like a cart. Let's imagine our entire constitution is like a, not a cart, a rath, a chariot. Okay, it has four horses. Four horses, man, vritti, chitta, buddhi. And these four horses, out of them, two horses, buddhi is perfect horse, never goes wrong, as pure and incorruptible as this. But the chitta, half is incorruptible, half is corruptible. We will come to it. Now, after chitta, vritti, and man, which we saw before, they are fully corruptible. Now, half chit and rest of vritti man. Now, those horses are present. By corruptible, we mean these horses may just want to behave in their own way, which, depending on mood, could be anyway. And now the chariot, which is the total life as human being, it does not have sarthi. है ना? मतलब सारथी कौन है भाई? So sarthi is I. I am the sarthi. And how do I control my horses? My first step, most important, at least I should not be sleeping. The horses, actually, sarthi is always awake, but the horses have not turned towards the sarthi, no? The mind horses. So the horses give up the control and they say, okay, now sarthi starts to watch it. This happens inside us. Now suddenly the mind surrenders to the sarthi, says, please watch over me. And the moment sarthi watches, this light and illumination in the mind. And this Satchit Anand starts coming in our life. So hence, I just sounds like I. Na? Am watching my mind, right? And mind's all activities, mind and its content, I am watching. Na? With the mind, I am watching body as well, right? My breath, my body, everything. Physical body. I'm writing PB. Mind is mental body. This we have to establish in, and this is the biggest discovery. When the association of the self is no more with the mind, body, no more with the physical body, can you imagine the beauty and bliss and relief that will come in life? Because the scope of all judgments will drop. Na? And everyone will start. I'll say, oh, this is me, pure consciousness. Same consciousness is in a dog also. Same consciousness is in a bird also. And in every human being, we will start seeing this. It's like Prahlad, no? Bhakt Prahlad said he prayed to Bhagavan Vishnu when he Bhagavan came as Narsimha avatar and he wanted to grant him a boon. What boon would you like? So what did Prahlad say? Bhagavan, I want you to feel you in my heart all the time, but also I want to start seeing you in the entire world, in every particle that exists. I want to see you. And this he was granted this boon. This is it. When the soul, the mind, basically, the mind only needs to be enlightened. Soul is always enlightened. It's like God. This soul, I, exists in non-duality. The experience of Sat Chit Anand, Sat is that the truth is that existence is non-dual. It's pure one consciousness infinite that is there. And that consciousness is reflected into individual vessels, which is you and me, our soul. But this soul is also an experience of non-duality. Only the mind needs to understand and learn this. The light of the soul needs to fall on the mind. So the sarthi, the charioteer of the chariot has to be present, has to take control of the four reins, and like Krishna, take the chariot forward. Hmm? So this experience of non-duality is what is bliss.
Shubhaya, can you explain again non-duality?
Non-duality, Akshar. I'm
Anji.
coming to it.
Okay.
बिल्कुल यही we are discussing. Bliss and love. They are together. So what is non-duality, Akshar? What is duality? Duality is feeling separation. There is me and there is you. Like there are two or more. There are many, either two or more. Non-duality is there are not two or more. There is not even one, because concept of one comes where two are there. Counting comes when there are many. But when there is an only thing that exists, इकलौता जिसे कहेंगे हिंदी में, जब चीज ही एक ही है, इकलौती, दूसरी कोई चीज ही नहीं है जो एग्जिस्ट करती है, तो उस चीज को हम नॉन डुअलिटी कह रहे हैं. सेल्फ, आई को ही सेल्फ बोल लो, प्योर कॉन्शियसनेस को. इनफाइनाइट ये जो कॉन्शियसनेस है, दिस आई एज सोल realizes that I am infinite. This soul is not separate from the infinite consciousness, no, part of it. So the part realizes the whole, and the whole is infinite, never ending, no boundary. Various philosophies have been written on it, Akshar, where philosophers of West also and East also talked about it, that how the pure existence has no boundary, a boundary defined by time or a boundary defined by space, like these many kilometers, for example. No, it never ends. And it was never born also. And it will never die also. Okay? And this whole existence, which is as coexistence, okay, of two things. This non-dual existence is a coexistence. It's parts. Now I'm breaking it and looking at parts. but the whole is as parts which are together. You are a part of whole. I am a part of whole. You see this? Abhi, it's a mental thought first. That someone is proposing, even, that everything is only is the word, iklota, non-duality, right? And I am a part, a stone is a part, the tree is part, the air is a part, even vacuum or pure space is a part. Then it becomes our experiential knowledge, starts to become our direct experience when the mind turned towards the soul. घोड़े अपने लगाम सारथी को पकड़ा देते हैं, ठीक है, जो भी वाइल्ड भाग रहे थे ना, तो घोड़ों को ये रोशनी पड़ जाती है, एंड लाइक द मून, राइट, moon has scars, with these scars matlab our imperfections, and imperfections are what make us beautiful, these scars, है ना, but whatever it is, full light padti hai, and moon shines, moon of the mind, with the knowledge of self, and self is this, I. Now what is non-duality? Are two oceans of wave separate from each other, Akshar?
No.
Correct?
Hmm.
Not, no? But to our eye they appear separate.
Two waves.
We are
Yes.
saying no two waves.
Uh,
We are saying two
looks
waves.
looks separate. I mean, when we see from the eyes.
And when we go with our body to take a bath also, we perceive with our skin and sense perception also. Eye is one sense, touch is another sense.
Touch is
We
another.
feel two waves hit us one by one.
Right.
Correct? So
Right.
we say two waves. Now that duality is there. But in reality, what hit us? The ocean.
Right.
Correct? So
Right.
now this is an intellectually, naturally acceptable to us. Even by intuition acceptable that bhai baat to sahi hai. Na? Now how can it become my experience? And by my experience, this I experiences. How will it experience? When the mind is enlightened. What is enlightened? Means light is falling on the mind. From where the light is coming? From the self. I am the light. इसीलिए many masters say, you don't need to get enlightened. You are already the light. But mind is not me. I am the light, already enlightened. Na? Mind needs to learn, to understand, to get knowledge. Akshar, does it make sense so far?
Yes. Now
Na?
my next question was how I can be so powerful to give light to mind and body.
You are already that powerful, Akshar. You are already pure light. You do not need any extra power. You do not need anything in
How
a
to
way.
switch on that light?
हाँ, वही बात है ना? How to switch on the light? So basically, how will the horses of my mind turn towards the light? Correct? That's the
But
question. No, कि भाई,
but
हाँ,
Akshar, it will
Yeah.
automatically switch on.
that's his question.
Sometimes, Monu Chacha, we have to make efforts to switch it on.
हाँ, इसमें अक्षर, both of you said the right thing actually. One beautiful thing I have learned is reality and truth. It's like a coin which has a heads and tails. It means contradictory statements are always true, many times. Like, bhai, one statement is it will switch on by itself by Kripa or grace. It is
Yeah,
true.
बिल्कुल.
ठीक है? Second is that bhai, we have to also make effort. वो भी true है. Correct? But of course, the larger truth is, Akshar, that grace happens. Even the effort that we do, the fact that you ask this question is grace falling upon you. That's grace. So, okay, so now, Akshar, you have asked a great and big, most important question, which is what today's session is about. So how will that light be turned on? You know, is all I'm saying. The light is always on. We simply have to start watching into our mind. We have to open the window of the mind. That's it.
So here,
So,
when we started the session with the breathing and to observe our breathing cycle, so it is also related to I,
of course, who is observing the breath?
soul, not mind. Mhm.
Exactly. Mind also does its level of observation. Mind is getting sensory input from body, no?
Mhm.
Correct? Mind is
Right.
behind physical body.
Mhm.
Mind is also a body. Okay? And who's behind the mind body? I. The final and ultimate seer is I. Na? See, we look at our physical eyes. Physical eye is seeing the world. We say my eye is seeing the world. No, this eye is catching the light. Physiochemical reactions are happening in the brain and the eye, right? With the brain is connected my mind. Mind is getting this input from the brain in a complex connection which modern science does not understand. Okay. Then this mind is interpreting this information and displaying a view of reality. Okay. But how does this view of reality even possibly manifest? It Where does the light on this reality fall from? It's I, my light, my consciousness. I am the consciousness. Okay. Because ultimately behind everything, I am sitting. If I was not there, there would be no one to experience the content of the mind. So ultimately, all sense perception also is possible because the light is coming from me into the mind and making it happen. Okay. Now, coming to switching it on, all we have to do is watch one, our physical body posture. I'm just breaking things down. Two, breath. And most important, number one important, while I'm putting in sequence, it's in terms of most easy to first catch. You can keep this together if you want, one. But if you possibly directly jump to observing the mind, then do it because this is most important. ठीक है जी? तो अब we have to simply watch the content of the mind. So let's do a little practice together. ठीक है? Let's sit, take some 3 deep breaths, and I will do like a guided session here, and we will all watch the content of our mind. Okay? And what is important is that this practice can be done any time of the day. We will start now. If we do this practice, especially in the morning, it will be easier to catch hold of it. But let's start now also. Anytime it can happen. You can keep your eyes closed or eyes open, does not matter, howsoever you feel like. And this is the easiest job to do. We are not going to control any thought. Absolutely let go of control. No control. Okay? Even if body moves, let it move. Be relaxed. So let's take 3 deep breaths. When we inhale, take in lightness and white light from all around, which is Sat Chit Ananda through the breath. into every cell of the body. And when you exhale from the mouth, or actually, when the exhalation is happening, remember, you don't control exhalation also. Let all darkness, heaviness, emotions which are trapped in the body go out with the breath. Just visualize white light spreading in the entire body, and actually even in your aura around your body. Feel 2 feet around your body like a cocoon. Hmm? And with every breath, it is becoming lighter, and you can visualize any parts in your body which are dark and heavy. This breath, like soap, when it goes out, is pulling those parts, and as we breathe out from mouth, it is going out. All held emotions which we store in our body, all our pain, all our grief, all our fears, breathe them out. And just visualize the aura is whiter and whiter of the body. Any black parts you see, let them go out. And now, step one is watch the posture of your body. Do not try, you don't have to change anything. We are simply watching, my friends. So watch. How are you sitting or standing or walking or lying down? Is the spine straight? Are the shoulders open or closed or slouched? Is there pain somewhere in the body? Is there pleasure somewhere? Just watch the body, the posture and sensations. I am watching my physical body. Now, to this, let's add our breath in our body. Just watch the breath, light and white, but just feel in the body. Breath is coming, breath is staying, breath is going. And before next breath comes, there is a pause. And then we breathe in. See the breath coming in. Then see the pause. Then see breath going out. You can now see how you're feeling on your nose, your nostrils. Maybe cold air is coming in, you're feeling cool sensation. Simply watch. If you do not feel cold, no problem. You are watching whatever is, not trying to change. Maybe feel your stomach as you breathe. Be aware of your stomach. What's happening there? It's going in, it's going out. Now, watch your entire body, every sensation, whatever you can perceive. Simply see. If there is a pain, just watch it. If there is a pleasure, just watch it without any preference or desire to change anything. The job of watching is not to change, simply watching. Now, let's come to the most important thing to watch. It is also more difficult thing to watch. It is the content of the mind. Why is it more difficult to watch? Because it cannot be perceived by the five senses. It is not, as they say in English, gross, or in Hindi, sthul. It's, as they say in English, subtle, or in Hindi, sukshma, like smaller, more fine. The physical body is more coarse. The mind body is more fine, and hence difficult to catch hold of initially. So now let's bring our attention to content of our mind. Let's start with a thought. Is there some thought happening right now? Is there a thought going away right now? Is a thought gone right now? And there is nothing. Now is another thought just coming like a wave in the ocean, starting to rise. Another thought, and it is happening again. And then it is going down and over. How do we perceive thought? Watch with me that we perceive thought in three ways. One is sound. There's a sound in our head which is talking. Are you hearing any sounds of talking? or no sounds. It is fine. But if you really want to practice, speak in your head now. Speak something. Say anything. Maybe say God's name. Maybe say Om in your mind. And watch the sound of Om. Then the second type of perception of thought is visual. We see in our mind. Let's practice. Can you visualize something, anything in your mind right now? Visualize and simply watch the visual that, oh, this visual is there right now. And then when the visual is fading away, let it fade away. Don't stop. Let it go. Watch it go. And now there is no visual also. Nothing to be seen. Nothing to be heard. Then there's a third type of cognition that happens. And this I will not call even a thought. It's something different from the thought. It is called feeling. It is more difficult to catch than the thought. When we start watching and separating the thought from the feeling, we simply feel. Can you right now feel about a loved one in your life? If you want, you can visualize their face. You can hear them calling you out your name. But when this happens, how are you feeling about them? Observe this feeling. Whatever is the nature of the feeling, you watch it. So these are three broad activities that happen in the mind, but not the only activities that happen in the mind. Now, let's observe another activity of the mind, which is choice. A choice of doing something with the body, making a decision, choosing to do something. It is linked to our thoughts and feelings. But who makes the choice? The mind. So now we will do a choice. We will think and consider, evaluate two options. We have left hand and right hand. And we will watch this whole process. First, what is happening in our mind? First step, we will evaluate which hand should I move a little. Let's consider choice of left hand or right hand. Watch yourself thinking about which hand to move. You may hear a sound, you may see something, or you may simply feel which hand to move. Watch it. And now order to your brain and to your physical body to move that hand and watch it moving. Let's do it. You see, I have just now watched the whole process of thinking, evaluating the choices, and choosing the choice that feels better, and then instructing the body to make that choice. Now, what we did in these 5 minutes, thinking, evaluating, feeling, choosing, then ordering the body to take action for that choice, which happened in 5 minutes now, is happening very fast throughout the day. Every time we turn our head to look in a certain direction, randomly also, very random, we are going through this process. If we start watching very attentively, we will start seeing that even random things are not so random. It will be like, in Hindi they say, "Bal ki khal udhedna." In English we say, to split the hair in two parts. But it will actually start happening behind even a random neck movement that we will do in a day and turn to look in a certain direction. We will start watching, why did I turn right now? Because I am watching the decision making process. Behind every small word I speak in the day to someone, I will start seeing, why did this word come out? I will also start seeing the process of the word coming out. And everything that happens before a word comes out of my mouth. So now I will quieten a bit for a few seconds, maybe a minute. All of us, let's simply relax and watch the movie going on in our mind. And also watch, very important, in this movie, between two scenes is no scene, nothing. Initially, this window of no scene will be very small, maybe it will not even seem to exist because very many thoughts are going on one after the other non-stop. Mind is agitated, excited, very fast, many thoughts. But when we keep seeing, we will see that no, there is a gap between two thoughts. Start observing that gap also, like the gap between breath inhalation and exhalation. So let's watch for a minute. जो भी हो रहा है मन में वो मैं देख रहा हूं. अब धीरे धीरे आंख खोलते हैं अपनी और अपने कमरे को देखिए. वापस से इस मीटिंग की तरफ आइए, पर देखते रहिए. मेरी आवाज को भी सुनते रहिए. मन में आते हुए हर आते और जाते विचार को, फीलिंग को, डिसीजन को देखते रहिए. अब ये जो प्रोसेस हो रही है देखने की, क्या ये प्रोसेस मैं कंटिन्यू कर सकता हूं इवन जब मैं खाना खा रहा हूं, जब मैं पानी पी रहा हूं, जब मैं चल रहा हूं, जब मैं किसी से बात कर रहा हूं, जब मैं किसी को सुन रहा हूं, उस टाइम भी मेरे मन में क्या चल रहा है जब मैं किसी को सुनना चाह रहा हूं या सुन रहा हूं, वो भी देखना. अभी कुछ उठा के अपने हाथ को मूव कीजिए, कुछ सोचिए और हाथ से ही हवा में कुछ लिखिए जो आप सोच रहे हैं. हम एक मेंटल एक्टिविटी कर रहे हैं, जैसे हम कहते हैं काम करना. आप चाहे तो लिखिए या आप चाहे तो एक रोटी बेलिए, ऐसे ही हवा में, है ना. चाहे तो टेबल टेनिस खेलिए, कुछ मूव कीजिए, कुछ कीजिए, चाहे पांव चलाइए, कुछ सोचने का काम कीजिए, एक मैथ्स का सम कीजिए, एक मुश्किल सा गणित का मल्टीप्लिकेशन उठा लीजिए. 22 इंटू 22 क्या होता है. अब जब माइंड कैलकुलेट भी कर रहा है ये चीज, तो देखिए और ऑब्जर्व कीजिए कि भाई देख सकते हैं कि नहीं कि कैलकुलेशन हो रही है. आंसर तक पहुंच रहे हैं, आंसर मिल रहा है, मिल गया, नहीं भी मिल रहा है तो वो भी देख लिया। देख पा रहे हैं ना हम? तो इसी प्रकार in the whole day, whatever is happening, even if our mind is thinking about a complex problem to solve at work or in a relationship, is listening to somebody or speaking to somebody, is playing a game, whatever it is doing, can we simply watch it? Yes, we can. And hence, this exercise is not excluded from what we call when I'm working, I am not able to do it. We are able to do it. In fact, we have to do it all the time. Isko, this meditation has a special name. It's called the Shunya meditation. Why? Because when we are observing the activities of the mind, we also start seeing when no activity is happening, nothing is there. That's Shunya. And when nothing is there in the mind, then you are there. See it right now. Think about a thought consciously and let the thought go. And before the next thought comes on its own, just observe that small window. Notice that space where nothing is there. In that moment, what is there, like nothing, is pure consciousness, the seer, I. And when more and more this I's presence is observed, the mind learns that just pure existing of this I is Ananda, is enough. Nothing more is needed. No other desire is needed. I am enough by simply existing. And this is true freedom. There was one Greek philosopher who was a slave. His name was, I think, Epictetus. Someone asked him once, "What is freedom?" He said, "To you, freedom is to be able to do whatever you want to fulfill your desires and be satisfied. To me, freedom is to be satisfied with whatever I have." And could Epictetus find this satisfaction had he not found himself? I believe not. When I found myself like Shunya I am, experientially, and the Shunya is enough in itself. I am enough. And second thing that I learned, this shunya or I will always be, was always existing. It will not end. And therein the liberation comes from fear of ending. I will forever be. And when the shunya has been located and found, that is self, I have found myself. My mind has found myself actually. Then when the self is found, one also sees the same self in all beings. Experientially, this is what is felt and experienced. And that becomes the source of love. So with this, we can come back to this meeting. Slowly open your eyes. If you can, just turn on your camera. I want to see you. See me. Swakshar, how was it? Would you like to share your experience?
Was good, feeling very light.
Mm-hmm.
And at last, though little complex, I mean, lot of things to do, activities. But in general, it was a nice feeling.
But when you were doing those complex activities, could you see yourself trying to do those complex activities?
Sometimes yes, sometimes not.
Great. So sometimes yes was there when you could see yourself doing those activities,
Right,
right? And
right.
now this is the only practice you have to develop from here on. Just like playing any game, right? Sometimes we are able to solve the easy puzzles, like we play Mario. Level 1 is the easy level, right? So first, let's start solving the first level, whatever we can do. But our capability and competence will itself increase and level will grow. So what I propose, Akshar, we can throughout the day be conscious and aware. इसी को कहते हैं awakening.
So actually,
मैं
observation was the thing when you said, no, the first activity in mind, observing
hmm,
what thoughts are coming and go. That I was able to do it. Like at times they were thought, at times there were noises outside which was coming, and also. But when we were doing activity, then it was
hmm,
not very easy to do those
hmm.
activities.
Like the math sum was not easy, probably.
Match some and the gap between the two thoughts when you said there is a gap. So to identify that gap,
But you already said you were able to see when there was no thought.
I was
You said right now that you were able to see when there was no thought also.
right, 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 right,
That's the
right.
gap, right?
That's the gap.
Between two
Mm-hmm.
thoughts. No thought is
Mm-hmm.
the gap,
No thought in there. Right.
right? Ah,
Mm-hmm.
ठीक है. So when someday Akshar it will happen, all sense perception, including sound from outside, will go away. For example, in night or early morning 4 a.m. when there is no sound, है ना? Keep in a dark room, no light, you cannot see anything. Fully dark. So that sense perception is minimized. Okay? Then do the same exercise, either in night or in the morning. Then more powerful it will be, that practice, because you will be simply observing the inside contents of your mind instead of also having external world sense, in stimuli. वो zero हो जाएगा, सिर्फ अब internal content पे ध्यान आ जाएगा. So उस time locate, or we will actually observe different activities of the mind, वो हम देखेंगे. We will draw out 4 layers of the mind in the coming
But
sessions.
actually,
And
when I was observing, na, when you said to observe the internal thought, so that time, because since you are asking, maybe there were no thoughts coming, but in day to day life, many thoughts are coming. But I was when doing this activity, so specifically when you were asking, no thoughts were coming. I mean, I was kind
exactly,
of uh,
right. So now this will happen in rest of the day also. When you start watching more, useless thoughts will stop coming. This is the beauty of this. Because when you'll watch them, they will become naked. You will see, ah, this thought has no value or negative value. Khud mind will itself become quiet just by watching the mind. Hmm. Donia?
no, got it. I will do this. I will do this
Hmm.
activity. I will observe it. Right.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because one more thing
This
is there to identify when my mind, I mean, that's one task which I see now. I need to think because it's always like whether now my mind is thinking or I am thinking. That's the confusion.
only the mind thinks, Akshar. You don't think.
The I
I only watches
only. But
or
watches,
sleeps.
but you said, na, then it instruct also the mind.
No, no, no. I gives when the mind turns to I for knowledge. Okay. Then I simply gives a wave, an energetic input to the mind, which mind can read as an input. What is the answer? Which we were saying intuition or natural acceptance. Mind reads, asks a question, and the answer is accessed from I. I am the eternal sun and light, all knowing. I am enlightened. I don't need to learn anything. There is nothing to learn in this I. It knows everything to be known. Mind gets the answer from the I. This is second job of the I. But not as a sound, not as a visual, not as a feeling. It is a simply an energetic input the mind reads, then the mind feels it as intuition. Okay, that is how it is. Mind understands a reality based on an answer from the self, which happens in buddhi. Bodh hona जिसे कहते हैं. So only mind is thinking, Akshar. I am not thinking. In fact, जो doing भी है, mind is doing, the body is doing everything. I, I, I is so enlightened. It's Sat Chit Anand. I does not need any sense gratification. Mind needs it. Because who's feeling the pain of separation? I is the in permanent
Mind.
bliss. Mind is feeling
Mind.
pain of separation. Hence, mind needs other things to fill the gaps in pain. Just say, for example, smoking. Let's talk about it. Or any other habit, playing game on the phone, right? Watching a TV. Whatever habits we have, somebody goes on Instagram for many hours. So, what is happening in that moment? We are becoming one with an activity, and for some time, we lose the sense of duality and we experience non duality, even in a very crude form, chota form. But we feel one with the game we are playing. Uh, In that moment, we lose non duality, and then pain is less. When I'm not doing that thing, when I'm not smoking a cigarette, when I'm not eating food, when I'm not playing a game, when I'm not watching a film, when I'm not scrolling on Instagram, whatever my habits are to fill that pain, right? To give a small relief, a dose. When I'm not doing that, then I face the pain, right? So there is no permanent solution to pain in external things. So mind has to finally, after experiencing lot of pain and suffering, mind, the 4 horses finally turn to the Sarthi, Krishna. Please guide. And thus Krishna, in other words, just like infinite consciousness, right? He has the same consciousness of the infinite consciousness, which is living consciousness. Like you and me, this infinite consciousness is alive. It's not dead, right? Bhagwan जिसे हम बोलते हैं, right? So that infinite consciousness is reflected in our individual self. And then the mind turns to that and mind gets relief finally. When too much pain has happened in life, then mind turns to that question. ऐसा होता है. I think we've
No,
overshot
ठीक
our
है.
time.
I'll introspect. मतलब मैं इस पे काफी और सोचूंगा. Maybe I have some questions. तो हम कल we will discuss.
Tomorrow we will discuss, okay?
हाँ.
So also we will take feedback from others tomorrow because we have overshot the time. So let's take 3 deep breaths, Om chanting, and then we will continue tomorrow. Expand your shoulders when you sit. It opens the heart center. Drooping shoulders and teda backbone closes the heart center and other energy centers. So expanded shoulders, expanded chest, straight spine, deep breath. Om chanting 3 rounds. Om. Om. Om.
Radhe Radhe. Good night.
Radhe Radhe ji. Thank you everyone.
Thank
Radhe
you.
Radhe.
Thank
Radhe
you.
Radhe.
Good night.